Hi, and welcome to the Crochet Junkie podcast. My name is Amber. Thanks so much for joining me this week as I talk about my knitting and my one crochet project. As usual, there's not a lot of crocheting going on in the Crochet Junkie podcast. There's a lot of knitting since I've taught myself to knit. As I've established, there's just not a lot of crochet love going on. I still do love it, just not for the things that I'm enjoying making at the moment. I am in a different location, clearly. This is my bedroom. This is actually my third attempt at recording this episode today. It's been a crazy, hectic Tuesday. My husband's been in and out all day and really busy, so talking quite a bit on the phone, and it's just not been ideal. I did record an episode outside, and then the traffic and lighting situation wasn't ideal again, so here we are in my bedroom a lot later than I normally podcast. It is Tuesday, September 29th, and it is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I normally podcast pretty early in the morning. I don't know if you can hear the sneezing, but I am joined by Roger today. He is sitting on the floor next to me. This is my little rat terrier. He loves to be held, loves attention, doesn't really like other dogs or children very much. He likes my girls, but anytime we have guests, I have to put him in the crate, kind of out of the room of all the other people. He just likes his people and his little life, and any other thing kind of upsets him. He does like going places. He likes traveling quite a bit. He likes being in the car and riding. So I am looking forward to with the weather cooling off so he can start going more places and being in the car. As I've mentioned, I live in Texas, so him going places in the summer is just out of the question. Even if it's a quick trip, our temperatures get 100 degrees, and even now it's still quite warm. I think it gets up to maybe 90 degrees, high 80s for sure, and it's the end of September. We won't start cooling off until October, mid-October, possibly even late October. The year I was pregnant with Estrella, which was 2000, she was born in 2005, it was hot the entire 9 months I was pregnant with her. I found out I was pregnant in March, and I had her in late November, and I thought the weather was never going to cool off. It was October, and I still felt like it was the middle of summer, and I was hugely pregnant and miserable, and now Roger is sitting directly in front of me, just staring at me, wanting me to scratch him again. He's so funny. But yeah, so it's going to start cooling off, which will be great. We can go camping more and take the dogs more places with us. They don't like going hiking in this summer either. My medium-sized dog, Bo, is very heat sensitive. We took him on a hike last year, and he actually overheated, and I was really worried that he was going to have a heat stroke. So since then, we haven't really taken them on any hikes unless it's been cool outside. And so I'm really looking forward to the weather cooling off, even though I prefer summer. I prefer it to be warm. I'm a very cold-natured person. I have my sweater on. My husband keeps the house really cold, so I always wear sweaters. And I have no finished objects this week, but I do have a giveaway, as I mentioned, just to entice some participation in the group. I did a giveaway for the spindle and some fiber, and I just asked people to tell me what buckets them, and that's all. And I had 10 people participate, and so I did a random.org number generator, and you have to trust me that I was fair. I did it off screen, so I didn't have to deal with any of that. And the number was number 3, the third post. I think that's what it was, number 3. I wrote down the winner. So, Busy Happy Knitter one is the winner, and that's Aretha. And I already messaged her and asked her to send me her address so I can get this shipped off to you. And I'm so excited. Thanks for all that participated. And I hope that you enjoy your spindle and your rainbow fiber. I did block my Potter shawl. I washed and blocked it. And I take back every rotten thing I said about this yarn. It is the Malabrigo sock, which is 100% superwash wool. And I originally said I wish I'd have gotten a more luxurious yarn, and I still kind of do wish that, but this is amazing. And the stitch definition is incredible. You can see my beads there. And the drape is just, I really like it. I love the color. I love everything about this. So I'm quite happy with how this turned out after I washed and blocked it properly. I still may go back at some point and add in the rest of the repeats that I never finished, but maybe not, because again, it goes under and it's fine. Even if I were to wear it like over my shoulders like this, that part hangs down and gets wrapped under. So yeah, it's fine the way it is. And I'm so happy with the drape of the fabric. I'm really quite pleased with how it turned out. I did not think it was going to be this nice when I was knitting it. So let me see if I can get this to lay back up here without sliding down. Okay, we'll see if that doesn't fall. I would have had a finished object. Sorry, let me get a drink. I mentioned this afternoon, so I'm drinking water, not coffee. I try to limit my coffee because I can go crazy and then I get jittery and it's no good for anybody. So I try to limit myself, and I usually have about 3 cups in the morning, and then sometimes I'll have a cup once the girls get home from school if I'm feeling especially tired that day. So I'm drinking water. So I would have been done with this, except I ran out of yarn. Now, I bought the yarn the pattern asked for, and the amount the pattern asked for, and I ran out. And I have this stored in my Mommy Sew project bag with the llama fabric, and I made this little zipper pull this week. I made a bunch of other zipper pull progress keepers too, but they're for swaps, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. So this is my bag from her, and the inside is cowboys, so the boot's fitting. I really love supporting local to me people, so it was nice that I could get her to make me a bag. Now, I had shown you the front piece and the back piece, and last time I showed you this, I had one half sleeve done, and I've since completed a sleeve, and this is how much yarn I had left to seam it all together and to do the rest of this sleeve. There's no way. There's no way. So I had to order more yarn. I ordered another 50-gram ball. I think this will be enough to finish it. I hope, because that's all I ordered. Luckily, it's just Noro yarn, and I could go on Webs and order more. It's the color number 84, red, and it's variegated, and I haven't alternated skeins, but it's meant to look kind of like that. So I've enjoyed working on this. It's just been an easy project, mindless to work on. really. The yarn's nice. I think it will wash up really, really nicely. Um, I look forward to wearing this with jeans and a red tank or red long sleeve shirt on underneath. I think it will be a winter staple for sure. And I have been crocheting that on my furls hook in the Bloodwood size H. And I love these hooks. I wish I had one in every size. I say that every time I talk about it. I've also been working on my pencil socks. I am going to enter this Neuro sweater into the Purposeful Stash Along. Little Bobbin from Danny from Little Bobbins has been absent pretty much because of her move, but she's back. And she originally wanted to do a knit along a couple months ago from your stash, anything from your stash. And I've had 2 sweater quantities in my stash for almost a year that I've been wanting to use. That Nora's yarn and the green yarn that I'm doing for my Rosemont. So I'm going to enter that into her knit along, and you should too. You should knit along. You should check out her podcast if you haven't. She's, like I said, been absent, but she's back. Even her past episodes are really great to watch. She has a lot of knowledge, and I enjoy watching her. Her easygoing nature. She's very reserved and quiet. The opposite of me. So I think that's why I like her so much. But I'm doing this knit along with Love Sock Wool, Sarah. Also a great podcast. If you have not checked her out, you definitely should check it out. And she originally bought this yarn this summer, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I needed it. I showed my 9-year-old Etrella, and she needed socks, pencil socks. And so I bought it, and it's from the Yarn Enabler on Etsy. So Sarah enabled me to get this beautiful pencil yarn, and as you can see, I was about here last week when I showed you, and I've knit the rest of the leg, the heels on both of them, and I just lack 2 more rounds on the decrease on this gusset. This gusset's finished, and then I'll knit the foot tonight. Hopefully I'll get it knit tonight and be able to do the toes tomorrow, because tomorrow is the end of the knit along. I did a pair of lollipop socks for Prudence for back to school socks, and I entered those, and I'm also going to enter these for back to school socks. Gosh, I love these. These are extra long because I was originally going to do tube socks for Etrella, and then she changed her mind and she wanted to do heeled socks, but she said just to keep going because she liked how tall these were. So that's why. And I think that it's fitting that they're so tall. Is that not just the coolest thing? I just love these. And I really love the pattern. I'm glad that I bought the pattern. I wish that she would include it in a kit. That way when you buy the yarn, you're getting the pattern, even if it was a little bit more money. Because I was quite disappointed on having to turn around and buy the pattern once I got the yarn. Like, that's just my suggestion, to make it a kit or something. I've seen lots of people do the vanilla sock pattern with these, and I'm really glad that I took the extra effort to do the rib, because I think it gives it that extra effect. I just really like it. Really like these. I think they're fun and funny, and I can't wait till she can wear them. She asked me if I was going to be done this weekend, and I said, oh yeah, I'll be done, because I have to be. And that's what's really exciting about knit-alongs to me, is the fact that you want to finish. You want to accomplish something. That way you're entering it and you're part of the finished objects thread, and you can see everybody else's finished stuff. It's a lot of fun. So 2 more rounds on that I'll do after the podcast. I probably would have been a lot further along on these if I wouldn't have had so many mishaps this morning on my recording. That's also in a Mommy Sew bag. This is a smaller one. And again, this is a local lady to me. She's got an Etsy shop. It's Mommy Sew, and she's on Instagram too. And I wish she was my neighbor, honestly. I say she's local to me, meaning she goes to the same knit group that I go to, but I'm quite far. And she's not always there because she's got a busy life with little kids that are involved in things, and I just love her. She's a wealth of information and knowledge, and there's just always some tidbit of information to get from her. I have also, I probably would have been done with my socks, or at least further along, but I got distracted making my farmhouse shawl. So I originally learned about this from my knit group. They have the knit night, and they also do an afternoon tea. And I haven't been to the tea yet, but I've mentioned wanting to go, and I still would like to. But they said they're having a knit along that no one is doing. And that made me so sad. I looked at the pattern page on Ravelry, and I thought it looked beautiful. And it is the farmhouse shawl. And it's just a big shawl with fringe. And I am doing mine in this gorgeous red yarn, Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in colorway Long Johns. And it's just a simple stockinette garter shawl. But it's so much fun to knit. I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. And I just, it's done in sections, and I just want to get to the next section, and then the next section, and the next section. And I started this on Thursday at knit night because I needed needles. And I ended up going with the carbons. I know, but I love them. I know what I said about carbons. I know that I said I don't like them. And then trying these, I tried these and a couple others they had there before I bought. That way I would see what I liked with the yarn. And these were the best ones. And I'm having a love affair with these. And I wish this is what I had on my Rosemont. So we'll see how long that lasts. I'm thinking of getting a pair of interchangeable carbons to see how those are. And if I like that set, then going ahead and buying the set or the kit off of Amazon, so I have all the sizes, because I'm tired of nickeling and diming away buying needles. It seems like every single time I want to start a project, I have to wait to buy needles, and it's frustrating. So I need to buy a set. But these are size 8. The pattern calls for size 9, and I originally did a gauge swatch out of size 9, and it was really gappy. And it's still, hold it against my face because that's, you can still kind of see through it, but it's not bad, and it's a shawl, so it's okay. But I don't know, I guess I just knit really loose. And this is my first cake. I'm almost to the end. This is my most exciting part on a project. When you have this tiny little thing and you're about to start your second ball. Isn't that exciting? And I have my Vintage Rose stitch markers on here, my little hobbit house, and my pipe. So you should check her out. If you're a nerd like I am, and I like to think that you are, you should check out Vintage Rose stitch markers because she has the best ones I've ever seen in my entire life. So all of that is in my farmhouse, is in my chicken bag. Isn't that fitting with the eggs on the inside? And that is from Bird Leg Bags. You can find her on Etsy. And I think that's going to be done really quick. I'm going to enter my shawl into the Big Cozy knit along, Big Cozy Shawl knit along, which is with Laura from the Fawn Knits. She is doing anything heavier than anything heavier than a sport weight, and anything that goes around your neck. So a shawl, a scarf, a cowl, just it has to be heavier than sport weight. And the knit along is going on until November 15th. So you have plenty of time. That's plenty of time. I'm going to finish this because this is what I want to knit on. More than anything, I'm probably going to get pretty monogamous on that after I finish the pencil socks. So I have also been working on my Rosemont. But, yeah, you knew that was in there. I'm still not liking my needle size choice. I did ask the girls at Knit Night. I always say girls, the ladies. The ladies at Knit Night. Because I feel that my fabric, like you can, it's just a little gappy. And I'm thinking because it's a sweater for winter, maybe that's not a good idea for it to have, you know, it should be a denser fabric. The pattern calls for worsted weight. It's Quince & Company Lark. Now that's not the yarn I'm using. I am using Collage Glisten in colorway Evergreen, and it's more like a DK weight, I want to say, than a worsted. I sized down to a size 8, but I'm thinking I might want to size down to a size 7. Now, the girls at Knit Night said it would be fine because it's alpaca, so it's going to bloom a little, but I don't know. What would you do if this was your sweater? Would you go ahead and size down? Would you continue with the size 8? Do y'all think that's going to be okay? Having never knit a garment, I feel just really scared that it's going to be terrible. And I need guidance. If you will please help me. If you think that it will be fine, then I will continue. And that's about, I showed you last time I was here, because I just joined my next yarn. So I've knit about an inch, 2 inches. And these are on my Knit Picks interchangeables. Not a fan. I won't buy these again. I was just trying them out to see, and they're okay. This is an easy knit with these, but the joins keep kind of getting loose even though I've tightened them, and I'm just not a fan. I do like the yarn, and I do like the fabric, and I like how soft it is, and I'm excited about being able to wear this. Ooh, that is the perfect color. So I'm glad that we're in my bedroom so y'all could actually see how the green is, and you can kind of see the sparkle too. So it doesn't ever really show up. It's actually maybe a little bit more Kelly than it's showing up on the monitor right now. That's always the worst, isn't it? Trying to get like your yarn to show up on camera or on film accurately. That is in my cozy crafting project bag. I got so many compliments on this at Knit Night. I love my Van Gogh bag. She sold it as a masterpiece in progress. That's what she listed it. And then I've got my little Beer Stein project keeper. So I'm going to stretch out my legs because I have old man knees and my legs are killing me. The girls and I I made chicken salad for them to take to lunch, and I had some celery, and I saw this thing online, like on Pinterest I'm sure, to take celery and use it on stamps to create pretty little things. So the girls had quite a bit of fun doing this yesterday, and even my husband, when he saw them doing it, he couldn't help himself, and he came over and made several stamps and said, "Oh, it looks like a rose." He was pretty impressed. I did get some stash enhancement. Since I didn't find any yarn to make my husband a sweater at Stitches, I went ahead and ordered, I saw a lady knitting a cardigan out of Miss Bab's yarn, and I've been wanting to try Miss Bab's yarn. and the colorway was just gorgeous. And I asked her what it was, and she said it was Miss Babs and Coffee Break. That was for me, guys. You know it was. So I went ahead and ordered it and had them skein it up because yowza. That's what this is called. Are those giant? Look, they're the size of my head. It's called yowza. And it is 560 yards of 100% superwash merino. And it says to alternate skeins when making something because of course it's hand dyed, and it looks much more, there's like much more neutral white khaki colored than I originally thought. Maybe that won't be that bad because this one's darker. I have 4 of them. So the pattern that I'm using is the Slave Cardigan from Brooklyn Tweed, and it asks for that yarn, but I knew that my husband wouldn't really like that. He loves soft yarn. So I needed 1,600 yards, and here comes Lucy. She's not supposed to be in here on the carpet. Lucy, you're going to step on my stuff. Get out. Out. The big dogs are not allowed on the carpet. Roger doesn't have those same rules. She's going to lay down anyway. So 1,600 yards is what I needed, and I went on to Miss Babs, found Coffee Break. They had, I think, 9 skeins left, and I needed 3. And then I ran out of yarn on the Noro sweater, and 3 was just enough yardage. So then I was like, crap, maybe I should get 4. And then there were 7. I was like, oh no, someone's buying all the yarn. So I couldn't wait. I could not wait to order this. I had to order the yarn even though I don't plan to cast this on until I get done with the Rosemont. So I'm glad to have it. I have 2 other skeins in the stash already in the storage. And I just had to bring these out to show y'all because they're huge and hilarious. They're big cakes. And I'm glad that I had them wind this, even though it was like a little extra upcharge, because there's no way my yarn winder could have handled this huge amount of yarn, and I didn't want to break it. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. This yarn is so nice and soft and luxurious, and I hope that it makes him a nice cardigan. I also, Atrella has been knitting quite a bit. She made this little owl. Isn't it amazing? So she wanted to make something else after she finished that pillow, and she went through my stash and found this green yarn, and I said, you know, that might not be the best thing to work with because it's cotton, and cotton can kind of be, you know how it is. It drags just a little bit. And she said, it'll be fine, I really like the color. I said, okay, do what you're going to do, a little crafty. And she came up with this. She started knitting just a garter stitch, and she was going to do a headband. And then she was watching me knit on my Rosemont and asked what I was doing, and I said I was doing the stockinette stitch. And so she switched to that and did that for several rows and asked me what the bottom of my Rosemont was, which is just rib. And so where the eyes are, you can't really see it, but she did rib for 2 rows, and then she bound off. Now she did all of this like at bedtime, after, you know, lights out, where she's in her room doing her reading, about to go to sleep, and woke up the next morning and she had it done. I was blown away because I'd only shown her how to bind off once before, and for her just to, I don't know, for her to do all of that and bind off just kind of impressed me. It really impressed me. And she even noticed she made a mistake, and she said, I was counting my stitches and I had this many, and then all of a sudden I had 1 extra, and I don't know how that happened. So that's funny that she's learning to read her work and to see what she's done. And as soon as she was done with this, she said that she wanted to do a project on circular needles. And I didn't have any circular needles that were good for her to be able to use as a first project sort of thing. So I told her no problem. I was going to knit night that night, which was last week, and I got her some size 9 Addy circulars on a 20-inch cable. And she got this yarn at Stitches as a freebie kit. People were giving away like how to crochet necklaces or something, and it had a little bit of acrylic yarn and an aluminum hook in it. And she took this and made this. She did her little slip knot and cast on all on her own. Asked me how many I thought she could do for a headband. Isn't that great, y'all? She knit this. I'm just like, I mean, I know it's just a garter stitch, but still, all on her own. When I got her those needles, I also got her this yarn, which is Madelinetosh, their home base in colorway Mirth, which is a super bulky 100% superwash, and those are her colors. Like, that's her favorite color. And she's really excited about this, but she didn't want to cast on anything with her nice yarn. When she got done with this, she asked me for nice yarn and circular needles so she could make something. I said, no problem. I can see that you're invested. I want to invest in you since you're invested in making this. And I'll get you some nice yarn and nice needles. But now that she has the nice yarn, she doesn't want to mess it up, and she wants to wait until she's better, until she makes something. But she says that she thinks she's going to make a hat. So if you know of any really simple hat patterns that you think she could do, then let me know. Link it in the group. I'd love to hear what you think. Now I've got both dogs in here, so if you can hear them, they're kind of like wrestling. Bo, come here. Come here. I'm trying to get one to come over, but in all likelihood, they both come over. Sit down. That's Bo. And Lucy's gonna knock over my water. Okay, y'all are gonna have to get out because this is just not working. Out. Out. Go. 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 I smacked him with my project bag. What else? We went shopping this weekend. We went to go return some stuff. We live rurally, so when we buy stuff and it doesn't work out, we have to end up returning it, either shipping it or just going back into the city to return it. My husband also wanted to go shoe shopping, so we went into town on Saturday, and we were gone most of the day. And we went to this new store, new to me, that's called I think it's called the Whole Earth Provisions. And if you've never been in it, it's a really cool store. They have some random stuff. They have some shoes, clothes, a bunch of gift kitschy type stuff that's just sort of cute and funny. A ton of kid toys, interactive games, architectural games, stuff that we really like to get our kids, books, puzzles, really detailed puppets. Kind of expensive for a puppet, but still they're nice, so worth it. And stuff like this, like a little mint tin and a cowboy boot. It's a cowboy boot. I love it. I had to get it. And it's full of mints, but as soon as it's empty, I'm going to use it for my notions. Isn't that perfect? I was just too excited about this. I had to get it. And what's funny is as soon as we got it home, my 4-year-old Prudence wanted a mint, opened it up, mints went everywhere, and she was so sad, and I told her, listen, don't worry about it, because then that means I get to eat the mints sooner. And she laughed, or not eat the mints, but use the tin sooner. And she laughed and thought that was funny, that I didn't even care about eating the mints, that I just wanted the tin. I'm also doing some swaps. I mentioned the You and Me swap on my last podcast, and I got my package all together, and I'm ready to ship that, and I'm doing some other swaps with fellow podcasters, and I'm also doing a Halloween swap. Diary of a Yarn Snob's podcast. If you haven't checked her out, Way Cool Jules is her Ravelry handle. Jules is hilarious, a lot of fun to watch. She's just goofy and has got a good personality and good energy about her. And she was doing a Halloween swap, and I thought that sounded like so much fun. I love Halloween. I had to get in on the Halloween swap. So I got my package for that all ready to and put together and ready to ship. So I'll be going and shipping all of my things and hopefully getting some good swaps in return. I also made several stitch markers for my swaps that I didn't want to show you because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I wanted to talk about doing a knit along. During the month of October, I would love to do a Halloween knit along. So anything Halloween themed, I'm going to do socks. I have my Cat's Kettle project bag. Isn't it perfect for Halloween? And I even have my Vintage Rose zipper pull. It's teeth, little stitch marker. I love that. So the yarn that I'm going to use is the Brazen Stitchery, which I've talked about being a local to me dyer. I love supporting local, and I also thought this would fit in with Carlenergy, the Made with Carlenergy podcast. She wants to do a local knit along, and since this is a local to me dyer, it fits in with her knit along, and it's Witchy Woman self-striping. Isn't that just perfect? I'm so excited about casting these on. It's this really neon green, purple and black color that's just not translating well on camera. These just, yeah, scream Halloween. I am sure that I'll probably get these done fairly quickly. I anticipate that anyway. And because of that, I also plan to cast on my District 12 socks, which this is also Brazen Stitchery and the colorway District 12. And I knit almost a whole sock, but the gauge was way too tight, if you remember, if you're a longtime viewer. And so I ripped those out, recaked it, and I'm ready to cast on another pair of socks. So I have both of these, and I thought this would just be perfect for Regina of the Herb Splat podcast, her knit along for the Fall in Love. And I still have my fall cardigan that I have not touched, have not worked on, my crochet cardigan. I'm just not feeling it. I just want to knit. I just want to knit, and I was thinking of ripping it out and knitting a cardigan out of the same yarn. But I'm so far on that, I should just really finish crocheting it. And I think that is all that I have to show y'all. I still want to make more hexies with my minis, and I probably will get some done because I've been wanting to make a little quick, cute thing. And I really like these, and I like using different yarn than what, my huge projects, I get kind of bored of looking at that color, and so just to make something small, and that's the only hexie I made. Isn't that sad? Everybody else has these glorious cozy memory blankets, their sock blankets, and then I have my one little hexie. I'll get more done, and I'm storing those in my You Sew and Sew camping project bag, and it is stuffed full of minis, so I really should knit some of these. And the yarn looks so much fun, and it'll break up some of the monotony on my other projects. I hope to have some finished objects to show y'all next week. Thanks, as always, for joining me. We'll see you later.